lesson number 1 is called don't put your head in the sand. If I ever feel pain in any business situation, I'm like this, what's the lesson? Quick, what's the lesson? What's the lesson? Because I want to hurry up and change it, because if I don't, it'll get harder and harder and harder. So I sort of call that, don't put your head in the sand and think it's all going to get better or blame it on everyone else, because invariably there's at least one thing which lies with you. Lesson number 2 is called, what are the numbers saying? In business, numbers do the talking, and you absolutely have to understand the numbers. And just say you're at school and you had a really crap maths teacher, doesn't mean you're bad at maths. And you can choose to turn that around, and when it is so real to you, it's actually exciting, except when your number 1 product's running at loss. But then you can do something about it. Lesson 3 is called eyes on the prize. Verbalise your goals constantly, because what you say is what you move towards. And don't do the negative thing. So don't say, I don't want to be fat, because guess what your body hears? Want to be fat, want to be fat, want to be fat. So what you is, I want to be skinny. But this is like so whatever you say is what you're going to move towards. So be very, very conscious of what's coming. I'm hopeless at maths. Okay, Or I'm going to get really good at managing finances. So that, that's I guess what we've learned. Lesson number 4 is decisions have to be made. And so the bigger the business, the bigger the problems, is essentially what it's about. And it's your tenacity and I guess your experience and your resilience that will see you through unless it gets too much. Because a little bit of pressure is okay and a lot of pressure is not. It's not healthy and it's not okay. And so I'm a bit of an advocate of a season. And I knew going through due diligence last year that there was an actual end date. And thank goodness, because again, I just held on. But if there was not an end date, that would be really bad and that would be really unhealthy. And so I always encourage people to say, if life is really, you're in the trenches right now and there is no end, you've got to do something to make sure there is. It's that whole pain of change. I'm going to leave you with a final thought, and I'm actually going to read it because I'm terrible at remembering it. And I've got a girlfriend who says this all the time. And it's, if you think it, there is some chance that it may happen, just by thinking it. But if you write it down, the likelihood of that happening will double. But if you tell a person, you increase the likelihood of it happening by 10 times. So the moral of that is find the right person and tell them all the time, because that's what my husband and I do. And I think that that's quite possibly what the Executive Roundtable does. So thank you for having me, and I'll hand over the...
I found that last talk really, really interesting.
Yeah.
I have a small business that I found really, had some, rung some bells with. I was particularly interested in the fact that she said how much it actually cost to sell a business. So I had a quick chat with her afterwards, and I think I'll be having another chat with her again in the short term too. So it was great. Yeah, I loved it.